Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Philip Vinyl Destination Vinyl. Today is going to be my ninth and final entry in my series of listing showing all my vinyl. The albums, at least, anyway. I'm not going to show the 45s. So I got 1.5 boxes left to go, so I'll get through this pretty quick. Okay, we're going to start off at, when did we end up last time? We ended up at Wishbone Ash, yeah, so now we're into the W's, and this is the best of Howlin' Wolf, and Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, great double album. Holly Woods, used to be the singer with the group Toronto, which is Toronto and Hollywood. Maybe it's the group playing featuring her. Richard Wright, Wet Dream. Pink Floyd solo. I'll have to play that Hollywood's album again. I don't remember that one. So many of these albums I haven't played in so long because I have so many that I forgot I had them and forgot what they're like. So I've got a huge list going of stuff I got to replay. The Yardbirds, Shapes of Things, the Greatest Hits compilation. Guys on the back. This is the Jimmy Page era of the Yardbirds. Dwight Yoakam, Guitars, Cadillacs. It's a fun listen. This is an EP, a two-sided EP, and this is Young MC, Bust a Move. And I don't really like rap at all, but I do like that one song, and I can't help but laugh when I think of it in the scene in Uncle Buck, John Candy going through the crowd of kids with that song playing. Harvest, Neil Young. Rust Never Sleeps. Decade. Yeah, I gotta play that again too. That's a fantastic album. I've played it so long. Neil Young, Everybody's Rockin'. Neil and the Shocking Pinks. That's a fun album. Oh, Harvest Moon. I looked for this on vinyl for so long. It finally came out. Then we got into some hard rock metal. Y&T, Black Tiger. These guys always have cool covers. Down for the Count. In Rock We Trust. Mean Streak is a cool cover. Contagious. And Earthshaker. And of course behind me, but I showed this in a previous video, I got the live album, Open Fire. Okay, we're getting near the end of the artists. Got Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy. Zwall, Canadian artist. Used to be the lead singer with a group from Toronto, Brutus. I think they were from Toronto. Best of ZZ Top. This is their old stuff prior to Eliminator, prior to El Loco. I love that. I prefer the good old stuff like that. DeGuayo. I wasn't overly fond of their disco era with their Eliminator, all that. El Loco. It's okay album. It's got some good stuff on it. And of course Eliminator. I think everybody has that. But I'm kind of tired of it. After a while, all those songs start to sound the same. Afterburner. Yeah, not really a great album. I just sort of got it to complete the set. Yeah, then we get into my radio show albums, which I did on another video already. So I'm not going to show those again. I've got, what have I got here? I have got soundtracks and compilation albums. I am going to show you the soundtrack albums first. Okay, we got Miami Vice. That was the first album. And we got soundtrack for Flashdance. There's actually some good songs on that. And what we got? These are all out of order. Got American Graffiti and more American Graffiti. Xanadu. And I only got that one for the song by ELO All Over the World. Oh, this is a really good movie. Sweet Dreams with Jessica Lange playing Patsy Cline. That was a really good show. We got Television's Greatest Hits, Volumes 1 and 2. This is intro themes from tons of TV shows. There's, God, I don't know how many on there. 30, 40 or 50 on each album. Oh, a Western musical. Paint Your Wagon. If you've never seen that, you got to see it. Clint Eastwood and Lee Marvin. It's just hilarious. All these gold miners back in the 1800s in California. Oklahoma. I think I got that from my mom and dad's collection when they were giving their albums away and going to CD. Live and Let Die. Oh, Kelly's Heroes, another funny war movie. That was Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas, Don Rickles, Donald Sutherland, Carol O'Connor. That was a funny movie, all about some American soldiers breaking free from the Union to go and hold up a bank in German-occupied lines. That was funny. Good Morning Vietnam. I actually didn't like the movie, but I do like the soundtrack. Not a Robin Williams fan. Pulp Fiction. Oh, I was happy to see this on vinyl. Great music on that movie. Just a classic. Theme from 2001 Space Odyssey. Hailed as one of the greatest movies of all time. I fell asleep during. I just can't stand that movie, but I do love the soundtrack. 13 original James Bond themes. And this goes up to as high as Octopussy, so it's all the old ones, none of the Daniel Craig ones. And Christine, which I just picked up recently, not that long ago. That was one of my grail finds. You think that didn't exist. Urban Cowboy. I never saw the movie, wasn't really into the theme of it, but I did want the song All Night Long by Joe Walsh. As far as I can tell, that's the only way you can get that song. Oh, of course, the classic heavy metal soundtrack. That cover, this is a fantastic movie. 9.5 Weeks. Good songs on that. Joe Cocker, Stuart Copeland, Eurythmics, Brian Ferry, yeah, some really good songs on that. Bull Durham, another fun movie. And this isn't really a soundtrack, but it's a classic album that I had as a kid and I searched for years, and I finally found it. And this is a kid's album, but it's Alfred Hitchcock presents Ghost Stories for Young People. And this is a neat album. I really like it. I'm gonna put that on my radio play albums because that's really what it should. So Alfred Hitchcock just reads ghost stories to you with this little blurbs in between. And now we come to all my compilation albums. KTEL, Ronco, TV Records, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, well, I want to make sure I have all these listed. I know there's a couple in here that were not even on Discogs when I tried to put them. So I want to make sure I go through this. I can go back, rewatch it, and make sure I have everything entered. Sound Explosion, Starflight, Superstar Collection. I mean, most of these, the reason I have most of these things is because they have one-hit wonders on them a lot of times, or, you know, there's artists that I've never heard before I just want to try out. This is a good way to get them on these old KTEL compilation things. Hot Tracks. You know, you don't want to go spend money on their albums. Buy a KTEL album, they're usually in the dollar bin or the $2 bin. You buy them, they're everywhere, and you can try out this. If you don't like the sound of the band, you don't have to buy their albums. Hit Express, Hit Explosion. I don't know who came up with all the titles for these albums. Music Magic. K-Tel presents Feelings. Whoa, 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 Feelings. Yeah, I hate that song. It's on there. Blockbuster. This one actually was not on Discogs. I had to manually enter this and they wouldn't take it, saying that album doesn't exist. I sent them a picture of the cover. They still won't let me add it. Girls, girls, girls. Maybe they've changed their minds, so I'll try entering it again. I know there's 4 or 5 of these things that were not listed. Powerhouse. Pure Gold. This is one of the first ones I got. Pure Power. Sound Explosion. No, I already covered this one. Maybe I had 2 copies. 22 Explosive Hits. 20 Solid Hits. This is an older one. What do we got here? Starburst. This is not K-Tel, but it's still a compilation. These are all compilations. This is Best of British Rock, or British Invasion, Cream, Dave Clark 5, Hollies, Walker Brothers, Seekers, Chad and Jeremy, Dave Clark, blah 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 blah. Great album. Oh, back into K-Tel. See, I told you these are out of order. Mindbender. I think that was the first K-Tel album I ever bought. Goofy Greats. Tarzan, Snoopy versus the Red Baron, Purple People Eater, Rockin' Robin, that sort of stuff. Surfing Bird by the Trashmen is on there. 36 Super Gold Hits. This is an old K-Tel as well. 25 Rock Revival Breaks. Canada's Finest. Canadian Mint. Dynamite. Disco Dynamite. Fantastic. Here Comes Summer. Hit Machine. This should go next to Goofy Greats. Looney Tunes. Okay. This is not a K-Tel album. It's Hit Energy. This is 24 million sellers, a 2-album set. What's this got on it? Shaft, Candyman, Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves, American Pie. That's one of good old stuff. This was put out by, this is a series. They did one every year for a whole bunch back in the 70s and the early 80s. This is put up by a station called Seafox. They're still around. They used to be the rock station to go to at the time. And they put out these albums, all local bands, and they call it Vancouver Seeds. And this is the 2nd edition. Wish I could find more of these. All the local bands that just never, got their say. Promotional copy not for sale. Super sale. Solid Gold Party Rock. This is a 4-album set. Something Else Again. 26 Heavy Sounds from Columbia. 3-album set, 60 flashback greats of the 60s. The Hit List. This is a K-Tel. California Jam 2. This has got a really great version of Aerosmith from Chip Away the Stone. I think that's the reason I bought this one. It's got Ted Nugent, Hart, Santana, Dave Mason, Frank Marino and Hagen Rush, Rubicon. This is Polytel, White Hot and All Out Metal Assault. Bon Jovi, I wouldn't call Bon Jovi metal. Kiss, Lee Aaron, Pickaxe, Y&T, Slade, Autograph, Scorpions. Let's play that one too. Dick Clark, 20 Years of Rock and Roll. Mr. Ageless himself can finally pass. Party Rock 2, 52 original hits, 3 record set. This is all stuff from 50s and 60s. Yeah, 50s and 60s. Yeah. The History of Hi-Fi Records, History of High Records, Rhythm and Blues Volume 1, the beginnings. Bronco, far out, man. This is Syndicate product, not K-Tel, 20 Heavy Hits Volume 1. And my last one, oh, this is a short one, only 17 minutes. So this is one I had done by Freestyle Vinyl. I did a review on them on a separate video way back long ago. Excuse me. Freestyle Vinyl is a company that will make a record album for you. And all you do is submit them a list of X amount of minutes of songs. I've got 12 songs on this, and they will put them on an album for you in any order you please, as long as it'll fit the side. They may have to adjust the order of it to fit the side of the record, and they'll send it to you. They download it. You have two options of either downloading the songs yourself and sending them the MP3 files, or for an extra $1 or $2 a song, they would download them for you and record them. And I thought it was really cool, so I got all these songs on here that I wanted to find but couldn't find the albums, or they weren't on vinyl at the time. And yeah, just make your own album. And you also had the option to design your own record cover. They had 3 or 4 options where you could pick their thing, or you could have a plain white cover, or for an extra fee, and I forget what it was. I think it was $25, $35. I can't recall. My video would say, but you can Google them, freestylevinyl.com. This is a great product. You can submit your own photograph, and they'll turn that into an album cover. A few years ago, every year we have this cruise-in in the Labor Day weekend in September, and all the guys bring out their hot rods, classic cars, collector cars, line them up and down the streets, and people walk up and down and view your cars. And it's a great way to see classic cars. It was a good long weekend. And my buddy Paul and I were walking down, and I saw this blue Duster, the 340 and the twin hood scoops that I want to get a photograph of, and he photobombed me. "Oh, Phil, what you doing? Take a photograph of your favorite car of the show?" And I said, "Alright, you bastard, I'm going to get you." So, when it came time to do this album, I thought, I want my own album cover, and I said, I know just the photograph to do it. And we were having one of my vinyl parties, where I set up in the townhouse. I go to the townhouse complex, set up in the clubhouse, and invite friends and people in the complex over. We just blast albums and have a dance, and potluck dinner and all that. And I have my 2 little things here where I set up the albums that are to be played or playing now, and I turn the album covers around so everyone can see what's playing. And I put this out, and my buddy Paul looks at it and says, "I recognize that photograph. Was that me?" And he goes, "How the hell did I get an album cover?" And I had to tell him, and he promptly went out and ordered 3 albums of his own. And he said he's very happy with them as well. In fact, the only complaint I have this at all is the album sleeve itself is pretty damn tight. Getting the record in, you could see that I'm having to put a little bit of effort to get it in and out. It's pretty tight. They should have made it just a fraction of an inch bigger all the way around. Now maybe that will loosen up with time. I don't play this a lot, but because I'm worried of damaging the cover, I'm going to have to get a separate. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get a separate sleeve and just put that in behind it so it doesn't go in the jacket anymore. That way I save the jacket. God, I'm brilliant for a Monday morning, aren't I, huh? There we go. Problem solved. The blonde, you know, used to be before it started going gray. Anyway, that is the end of it. Like I said, I did not show all my 21 or 23 status quo albums because I have a separate video on those. I did not show my radio show albums because I got a separate video on those. And that is it. I got another box down there, but it's just miscellaneous classical stuff that my mom and dad gave me that my wife wanted to keep for some reason, and they got her Monkey albums in it, and all her Mac Davis collection from when she was a kid. And I'm just hesitant to put that in with my collection. I don't like this stuff. But I suppose I will eventually, just to keep it all together. Yeah, so that's it for that. I do have another video coming up today because Friday, you just see in the background here, way in the background on the left there, is Greta Van Fleet's new album, Battle at the Garden Gate, Gardens Gate. Can't speak today. And eagerly anticipating that. So what I'm going to do, when I finish this and download this one, I'm going to play that album, then I'm going to come back and do a review of it and let you know my opinion. But I love the band, and I've heard 3 tracks from it already on YouTube. So I'm going to give you my honest review of that and let you know what I think. And thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.